All right, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashum, Yahushai, Ba'ashum Hakodash, and peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. Shalom. So this lesson is based off this video, and I'm just going to jump right into it. This is Luke chapter 17, and I'll start at verse 26, and this is in the Amplified version. And Luke 17:26 in the Amplified. And just as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the time of the second coming of the Son of Man. So, just like in the days of Noah, this time coming, when Yahushua returns, it's going to be the same thing. The behaviors ain't changed. This is going to be the same thing you saw back then, or what we have here. We have the scriptures were written for our learning. You know, the same things that was going on back then are going on now. So, and just as it was in the days of Noah, so it will be in the time of the second coming of the Son of Man. The people were eating, they were drinking, they were marrying, they were being given in marriage, they were indifferent to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So they were indifferent, they were just ignoring everything going on. Matter of fact, let's look at that real quick. Yeah, here. Ambivalent, unconcerned, uninterested, apathetic, nonchalant. So they weren't interested in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And the same thing like today. These people of the world aren't interested in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. They aren't interested in what he has to say. You know, what he says he's bringing to the world. They aren't interested in any of this. They're interested in just playing around, getting married, eating. You know, the same thing like this video. Hey, that lady wasn't really interested in that flood coming. She didn't think anything of it. She was just playing around. And then she got swept away. This is again Luke 17 and verse 27. The people were eating, they were drinking, they were marrying, they were being given in marriage, they were indifferent to the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, meaning that they were having a good time. You know, they're eating and drinking and marrying. When you go to a wedding, it's a party. You know, there's food, drinks, there's dancing, all that kind of stuff. You ain't worried about nothing. This is a wedding. Let the good times roll. Until the day that Noah went into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. So they were doing that all the way up until the flood came. The Most High put His spirit to where the door couldn't be opened. He sealed the door on the ark. And you know, people were banging on the door trying to get in. There's probably scratch marks on the door, you know, fingernail. Verse 28. It was the same as it was in the days of Lot. People were eating, they were drinking, they were buying, they were selling, they were planting, they were building, carrying on business as usual without regard for their sins. And this world is overflowing with wickedness. Let's see here. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 6. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So wickedness has this is back in Ezra's time. But hey, how much worse is it now? It's exceedingly polluted the whole earth. I mean, it's overflowing. It's Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to deal with this. And he has something for this. Luke chapter 17 and verse 28. It was the same as it was in the days of Lot. People were eating, they were drinking, they were buying, they were selling, they were planting, they were building, carrying on business as usual, without regard for their sins. But on the very day that Lot left Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone, burning sulfur from heaven, and destroyed them all. It will be the same on the day that the Son of Man is revealed. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Because when Yahushua returns, that's the same day that the ICBMs are going to drop. That's the same day that these places are going to explode. I mean, be destroyed. You're going to hear explosions going off. And that's the same day that Yahushua is coming to retrieve his elect. So the same day that the elect are leaving this place, Babylon the Great, is the same day Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed. In the same hour. This is Proverbs chapter 23. Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 3. And I think I'm just going to read. Let me see. I think it was in the GNT. This is Proverbs 22 and verse 3 in the GNT. Sensible people will see trouble coming and avoid it. So, like in the video at the beginning, those two people that got out of that, whatever that was, a beach or a river. I think it was a beach or something like that. And it looked like that could have been a tidal wave. I thought it was the first time I saw it, I thought it was a river and a flash flood. But, looking at it again, it looks like a beach, and like not a tidal wave, a tidal wave. I think that's what it is. That's when there's the water comes rushing from the ocean because of an underwater earthquake. I think so. Now I gotta look it up. Salakia. No. Right, okay. An exceptionally large ocean wave, especially one caused by an underwater earthquake. Oh, I think I'm thinking of a tsunami. Am I? Dang. Let me see. You know what? I'll come back to this. I'm gonna have to look into this later. But either way, hey, that flood of water came and took that lady away. And whether it was a tidal wave, a tsunami, hey, the water came and swept her away. Either one of them, hey. The point here is that a Proverbs 22 and verse 3 in the GNT, sensible people will see trouble coming. They seen that water rushing towards them, they got out the way and avoid it. But an unthinking person will walk right into it and regret it later. So that other person, they weren't thinking, they were joking around. They were having a good old time. They just thought that was just some little play water. They didn't think about how powerful you know them waves are, or how powerful water actually is. They didn't think about how powerful Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is. That Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is in all his creation. They didn't think about that, so they just got swept away, and then they regretted it later. So I don't even know what that person survived at. But again, sensible people will see trouble coming and avoid it, but an unthinking person will walk right into it and regret it later. And this is what we're seeing today. Hey, the sensible people, the hopeful elect, hey, they're seeing this trouble coming. They're seeing a World War III, Jacob's trouble, famines, diseases, the MOTB, a great insurrection, UN troops, Gurkha troops, Esau Edom, being unleashed, drones, robot dogs, having to go from place to place, having to pack up and leave, having to leave, whatever you build up here behind, the collapse of the monetary system. Hey, the elect are seeing all these things. They're foreseeing all these troubles. Why? Because hey, they're talked about in the scriptures. Even the people that aren't in this truth, like the preppers and all this stuff, they foresee trouble coming. That's why they're prepping. But the only people that are going to be delivered out of this are the elect. That's the difference between the elect and a prepper. A prepper ain't gonna make it. A prepper is storing stuff for the elect. A prepper is getting stuff ready that he might not even use. He might not even make it to that bunker or that beans and rice that he has stashed up, or that dry food. But the point being, the elect, they see this danger coming, and they're not playing around with it. This is Joel chapter 2, and this is in the NLT. It says, "Sound a trumpet in Jerusalem, raise the alarm on my holy mountain." So when you see the men on the streets, starting with the apostles and elders, on the highways and byways, lifting up their voice like a trumpet, preaching this word, hey, they're sounding the alarm. They're letting people know that the danger is near, and they're looking for the elect. But hey, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai will bring whoever needs to hear it to come hear it. The rest of the people are blinded and deaf. Let everyone tremble in fear, because the day of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is upon us. But hey, not everybody's trembling. Like the same day, like it says, like in the days of Noah and Lot, people are just carrying on about their business. Meanwhile, this great and terrible day is right on us. It is a day of darkness and gloom, a day of thick clouds and deep blackness. So this is a day, people aren't going to know what to do. This is a dark day. Wisdom is going to be completely gone out of this world. People aren't going to know, what to do, where to go, or anything. Suddenly, like dawn spreading across the mountains, a great and mighty army appears. And this is the ICBMs. All these nations, these NATO nations, all the nations that have nuclear arms, they're going to be firing, with Russia and China, they're going to be firing their nuclear arms on Babylon the Great, America. Suddenly, like dawn spreading across the mountains, a great and mighty army appears. And they're going to be firing their arsenal at once on Babylon the Great. And this is compared to like a mighty army. In the ancient world, the armies lined up and they charged into battle. So these ICBMs, these intercontinental ballistic missiles, it's comparing them to a mighty ancient army. You know, how they're going to be shot off. How comparing it to that. Suddenly, like dawn, spreading across the mountains, a great and mighty army appears. Nothing like it has been seen before or ever will be seen again. So these ICBMs, you know, starting with I think his name was Robert Oppenheimer. You know, he was the creator of the atomic bomb, and then it moved on from there to where we have these nuclear weapons, where we have not we I don't have any nuclear weapons, but these different countries, these different nations have their own arsenals of nuclear weapons, and these weren't just built or made, you know, to for decoration or to sit in a museum or anything like that. These were made for a purpose, for to bring the destruction to Babylon the Great. So nothing like this has ever been seen in history up until now. And then once they're shot off, hey, there's not going to be anything like that again. This is a once in a lifetime, limited time deal. And you don't want, you really don't want any part of this deal. Verse 3, fire burns in front of them, and flames follow after them. Ahead of them, the land lies as beautiful as the Garden of Eden. Behind them is nothing but desolation. Not one thing escapes. So this here land, Babylon the Great, the scriptures is comparing it to the Garden of Eden. Because compared to what it's going to be, you know, the desert wasteland that it's going to be, where only unclean creatures are going to dwell. Hey, this is like the Garden of Eden in comparison to what's going to be. Ahead of them, let me start over. Joel chapter 2 and verse 3 in the NLT, fire burns in front of them and flames follow after them. Ahead of them, the land lies as beautiful as the Garden of Eden. Behind them is nothing but desolation. Not one thing escapes. So nothing is going to escape this judgment that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is bringing. They look like horses. They charge forward like war horses. Look at them as they leap along the mountaintops. Listen to the noise they make, like the rumbling of chariots, like the roar of fire sweeping across a field of stubble, or like a mighty army moving into battle. So look at the sounds listen to the sounds that they're going to make. Listen to the sound of a rocket. It's comparing how it's going to sound. Comparing, you know, them looking like horses compared to, you know, horses charging into battle. You know, how they're going to be coming like an army. Fear grips all the people. Every face grows pale with terror. Hey, so what these are the same people that were indifferent to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. They didn't care. They didn't care about the judgment. They didn't care what was going on. You know, they were eating, marrying. They were living their life, living their best life. And now look at them. Now their faces are they're scared shitless. They don't know what to do. Now they're scared. But the prudent heard this word, and they got scared just by hearing it. They foresaw the evil and they repented. These people at this point, it's too late for them. Verse 6, fear grips all the people. Every face grows pale with terror. The attackers march like warriors and scale city walls like soldiers, meaning that thermonuclear destruction, that firewall, you know, that big explosion. Hey, that's going through everything. The walls, the windows, tearing down buildings. It's comparing them to warriors, scaling walls, climbing up things. Hey, this fire is penetrating everything. Like it says, there's nowhere to hide. The attackers march like warriors and scale city walls like soldiers. Straight forward they march, never breaking rank. So they're not gonna well, let me keep reading. They never jostle each other. Each moves in exactly the right position. So hey, they're not gonna bump into each other. They're not gonna misfire, anything like that. Each one of them missiles is hitting its target. They break through the fences without missing a step. Hey, they're up in Israel they have the Iron Dome, and supposedly that stopped missiles. But a few months back, when they were being bombarded, a lot of the missiles got through. And the same thing over here. Nobody, the defense system here ain't gonna do nothing. Against a hypersonic missile, hey, it's not gonna do anything. The defense system here, is like it says, they break through the fences without missing a step. Hey, they're not gonna get a single one. They swarm over the city and run along its walls. They enter all the houses, climbing like thieves through the windows. So like I said, it's destroying everything. Everything is gonna be laid waste. Everything is gonna be destroyed here. There's not gonna be anything left here. Like it says in Isaiah, the line of confusion is gonna be spread. The earth quakes as they advance, and the heavens tremble. The sun and moon grow dark, and the stars no longer shine. The sky is going to be blacked out with all the mushroom clouds. The smoke that's going to be piling up for a long time. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is at the head of the column. He leads them with a shout. This is his mighty army, and they follow his orders. So, this is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. His spirit's going to be in these missiles. They're going to do exactly what he tells them to do. This is his mighty army, and they follow his orders. The day of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is an awesome, terrible thing. Who can possibly survive? Hey, nobody can survive unless the Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai wants you to. And those that he wants to survive are going to escape through the chariots. And they're going to be beamed up out of this place. And that I'm going to go to 2 Peter chapter 2, and I'm just going to get straight to the point. And I'm going to start at verse 10. 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 10, and this is 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10. And this is in the Amplified. But the day of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai will come like a thief, and then the heavens will vanish with a mighty and thunderous roar. And like how it said in Joel 2, this is going to be loud. With a mighty and thunderous roar, and the material elements will be destroyed with intense heat. So the material elements, the world that you see right now, everything here is material. Everything that you see here is matter. It's made up from the elements. From carbon, oxygen, iron, tungsten, nitrogen. Everything here, all the elements that you see, just look around you. Everything is made up of elements, of atoms. All these things are going to be clean, broken down, burnt up, dissolved. Again, 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10 in the Amplified. But the day of the Lord will come like a thief, and then the heavens will vanish with a mighty and thunderous roar, and the material elements will be destroyed with intense heat, and the earth and the works that are on it will be burned up. And this this here, Babylon the Great, this place is going to be burnt up. All the works that are done here, all the wickedness that was done here, and it's going to go up in smoke. Since all these things are to be destroyed in this way, what kind of people ought you to be in the meantime? So what kind of person should you be in the meantime while this destruction is on its way? Should you be like the people of the world? Should you be like Jake doing them check scams? Should you be like Big Shirley, having 12 kids, getting child support, getting diseases every other week? Should be like these niggas in the world? Should you be like Esau? No, you have the scriptures which written for your learning. You should model yourself after the scriptures, after Yahushua. You should model yourself after how Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai wants you to be. Since all these things are to be destroyed in this way, what kind of people ought you to be in the meantime, in holy behavior, that is, in a pattern of daily life that sets you apart as a believer? So, you believing isn't, you just can't say, oh, I believe in God, I believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, but your daily life, you're still doing the same things that you were doing in the world. You still getting lineups. You still committed adultery. You still being a thief. You still going out partying every night. What kind of people ought you to be in the meantime in holy behavior, that is, in a pattern of daily life that sets you apart as a believer? So to set you apart, to be set apart, that's to be holy. Holy means to be separate. And in godliness, displaying profound reverence toward our awesome power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So displaying reverence. You displaying reverence towards Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that's a big thing. First, you displaying reverence to Yahushai, because you can't just go to Yahweh the Father. You got to go through Yahushai. So you showing, in order for you to show Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai reverence, you got to show Yahushai reverence. You got to thank him. You got to bow down to him. You got to thank him for his sacrifice that he made for us to return, to understand his word, to truly believe. Or else, we would be like them people in the world, banqueting, partying every day, trying to build a life in this world that's going to be burnt up. While you earnestly look for and await the coming of the day of the Most High, for on this day the heavens will be destroyed by burning, and the material elements will melt with intense heat. I didn't even say fervent. I'm thinking of the the KJV version. So used to reading that. But in accordance with his promise, we expectantly await new heavens and a new earth in which righteousness dwells. So we're waiting for the new heaven, a new earth, which is a renewed heaven and a renewed earth, a new rulership, because the kingdom of heaven is set to be next. And this kingdom is going to be forever, and the earth is going to be rebuilt. Starting with the elites, they're going to be rebuilding this earth. Especially the elites of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. They're going to be the first slaves, the first generation of slaves rebuilding this earth. to restore it, to make it new, more beautiful than what it was. And how righteous is that? Because you're the people that destroyed the earth. So again, I'm going to read this again. I'm going to start at verse 11, 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 11 in the AMP. Since all these things are to be destroyed in this way, what kind of people ought you to be in the meantime? In holy behavior, that is, in a pattern of daily life that sets you apart as a believer, and in godliness, displaying profound reverence toward our awesome power, while you earnestly look for and await the coming of the day of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. For on this day, the heavens will be destroyed by burning, and the material elements will melt with intense heat. But in accordance with his promise, we expectantly await new heavens and a new earth in which righteousness dwells. So we're looking for a righteous earth. We're looking for a new heaven and a new earth. We're not looking to be swept away in this destruction. But I'm going to end it right there. So Lord willing, this was edifying. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, and Shalom.